Oh wait, let me just take off my reusable mask, which by the way, has turtles on it, made by my beloved mother-in-law, Anita. She made a Star Wars one for my husband and a skiing one for Dylan. Anyways, I hope you're all staying safe and social distancing. And I didn't think I was going to use my mask when she first sent it a couple of weeks ago, and then turns out I did use it today when I went out for a bike ride. It keeps my germs from other people, but not necessarily keeping me safer. Anyways, let's talk about your work from last week. So I loved a lot of the things that you guys put on our slideshow. I saw things from blankets to tennis balls to chairs, tables, straws, all kinds of things. I hope that you take a moment to look at what all of the other classmates did, because there are a lot of really neat ideas that you explored. Many of you there were some themes, like a lot of you said, take better care of my things. Some of you said, keep the things until they're really, really worn. Some of you said, repair the things that I already have instead of buying new stuff. All really great ideas. You also hit on a lot of the good things, you hit on a lot of the resources that are used in the factory that has to produce it, in the fossil fuels used for transportation, the materials in the product, whether it was made of nylon or made of plastic or made of cotton. You guys mostly really addressed a lot of the resources. I will say some of you were in more detail than others, and there are a lot of the things that people picked that, they are quite complicated. And I'm not going to be really asking you to have every single thing memorized about every single product, but it's more of an exercise in our stuff that we have requires a lot of resources. And most of the resources that you were identifying were in fact non-renewable resources, like the fossil fuels required for electricity. Did it just get too dark? The fossil fuels required for transportation. And so many of you came up with some really good ideas. I wanted to draw your attention to my fancy whiteboard that I have here, and I wanted to show you that a lot of the ideas that you came up with fit into these three categories. And I know you've probably heard of these 3 R's in middle school, but it's always good to kind of go over them and see how we can apply this in our real world. And so I kind of broke up some of your ideas into these categories. Reduce, like keeping that blanket until it's really, really worn. Using reusable bags or straws or cups, or using a cup that doesn't require a straw. Those are all good ideas of reducing the need for new material to be purchased to begin with. Looking for items that actually come in less packaging. When you order stuff off of Amazon, you can actually ask for less, frustration-free packaging, and you can get things packaged in less packaging. You can also ask for it to not come with plastic bubble wrap if you bug them enough. Buying local. Now that we've really been talking about the transportation, and hopefully you looked at the tags of some of your clothes or your sneakers or your backpack, and you found out that they're made halfway around the world. So buying local reduces the need for those fossil fuels for transportation. This one is kind of hard for some people to wrap your brain around. when you're gonna buy a shirt. Buying one that is more expensive might, in fact, this doesn't apply all the time, but like buying something that is a nicer quality, it's going to last longer, and then in the long run you spend less money and you're using less resources. So reduce, I want to just show you that the list is longer and it comes first. A lot of people focus on recycling. What I want to make sure that you understand today is that recycling is actually third. It's like a last resort on this list. We want to reduce the materials that we're using to begin with. We want to then reuse. So some of you said I could make things out of materials that I already have. We could make a mask out of the materials that are already in my home. Or somebody said, take my tennis balls and I could donate them to like an animal shelter so that the dogs can play with them. So thinking about what you can do to repurpose or reuse the things that you don't want anymore. You could donate things, and you can also buy used. And buying used reduces the need for all of these things. It reduces the energy use, the resource use, the emissions for transportation. So I just wanted to kind of show you around my kitchen for just a minute. Welcome to my world here. I wanted to just show you a couple of things that make reducing and reusing and recycling easier in my kitchen. I think that if you make it as easy as possible, that's the way you're going to make sure that you actually do it. So here I have my compost bin here, and we can put, like, there's eggs and a tea bag and parts of cauliflower and all kinds of stuff in there. Until this past week, I always had a compost pile in my backyard. But I actually signed up for Garbage to Garden, which is it's like $5 or $6 a month. I was hoping my bucket was gonna fit under my sink, but it doesn't. So right now, here's the bucket. It gets picked up every week on trash day, and it goes to local farmers who have like big compost piles. The benefit of going with Garbage to Garden is A, it freed up space in my yard, but also it can compost a lot more things. If you have a home compost pile, you can't put meat in there, for instance. This one you can. Okay, so composting. I also wanted to show you, like, this is Dylan's lunchbox. We used it today. We went for a little bike ride. And instead of using like Ziploc baggies or things that are not reusable, we just washed that out, and we've used it for 2 solid years, and it's still got a lot of life in it. This is when we've been having a lot of backyard playtime and having fires at night, and we don't like to have glass outside. This is a plastic plate that some people might think is, let's just throw it.
Yeah. One use.
Yeah, my mom's doing the videoing, by the way.
Hi.
So, there's no reason why we can't wash this and use it, and eventually it does end up cracking and you have to throw it away. But I've been reusing these plastic plates for a while now. The other thing I wanted to show you, we actually made it so that our recycle bin fits right under here, and you can see that it's easy to get to, it's centrally located. I wanted to show you this. This is something I'm trying not to buy these days, but when we go to the grocery store, like, there's almost nothing on the shelves. So we did buy this. This is salad blend that came in this plastic box. But lately I've been trying to make sure that I buy like big heads of lettuce that don't come in the plastic box, because you bring this home, you eat salad like 2 or 3 nights, and now what's gonna happen with this plastic
I'm gonna take it
box.
home and plant some flowers.
Oh, my mom says she's going to take this home and plant flowers in it. These do make a wonderful little greenhouse to start some seedlings. This one, maybe not so much because it actually has holes in the bottom and the top, but tomatoes are definitely a struggle at the grocery store. I finally found these tomatoes that come in a cardboard box instead of plastic, which I kind of liked. Let me think, what else did I want to show you? This is my mom's reusable cup that she has used for probably, 4 or 5 years now. She has had the same cup every day, and I think the straw changes sometimes, but it's a reusable straw, reusable cup. I have a whole cabinet full of jars like this where I can, if I make a soup or something, I can just put it in there. I don't even have Ziploc baggies in my kitchen anymore because I either use the jars or glass bowls, or lately I've bought these silicone bags that I just took out some soup from the freezer yesterday, and this is something that I got for Christmas from my mom that is for salad dressing and stuff on a daily basis when we were going to school. The last thing that I'll just show you is I took these out of my closet, and these are dresses. First of all, this was a dress that my friend gave me because she didn't want it anymore, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'll take it, but it's really not getting worn by me. And when you think about it in this way, why not pass it on to a donation like Goodwill or Salvation Army, or have a yard sale or whatever? It would probably do somebody else good to have this, and it's not doing me any good to have it in my closet. So this dress, I said, really, this is too short. I never wear this one. And this one just seems a little too busy. So I decided I'm going to get rid of that one. And so I actually keep this box right inside my closet because this does happen to me rather frequently, that I decide that I am going to hand stuff on down the line. I'm also super lucky. I'm not a good shopper at all, but my mom loves to shop at Goodwill, and so she will come to my house with new clothes for me to wear sometimes. So a lot of my stuff does come from secondhand stores too. So I just kind of wanted to share with you a couple. Oh, I do have one more thing. These are my reusable bags here. They're right at the door, ready to go. I try to keep some in the car and some here. These are my little reusable produce bags. So when we go to the store, I can get that loose leaf lettuce, or I can get snap peas or whatever, cucumbers, and you put them in these bags and you don't have to get those little plastic bags. This has always been what we can do, and right now, because of the virus, they're not allowing us to do that. It really kind of killed me the other day when I had to get all plastic bags for my groceries, but once they were already bagged, the cashier said, oh, well, you could have put it all in your cart, bring it to your car, and put it in the reusable bags, but I didn't know that in time, so I didn't do it. But I might next time. At least for some of the larger items, that would be easy to just transfer once I got to the car.
Can I say something?
Sure.
They did tell me at the store that I went to up in Ellsworth, I didn't realize it either, so I went in without any bags, and they said that at least at that time they would allow you to bring in your bags as long as you kept them right in your cart. And then you had to put the groceries into it because they wouldn't be touching your bag. So you can do that. Or you could.
I think this is like an ever evolving situation. And where I was in Portland, they said ixnay on that. They
Okay.
said they were doing that, but now they're not. So
Oh, I see.
I think I asked when I went right into the store, and they told me, like, no, nothing was allowed. So, anyways,
Yeah, right. That was almost 2 weeks ago, I guess.
grand conclusion here. I love the things that you put on the slideshow. If you haven't put something on the slideshow yet, please do. Know that I'm not necessarily asking you to know every single detail of every item, but at this point we should know reduce, reuse, recycle. We should know the general idea of how resources get used for our products that we use on a daily basis. And now we're moving towards a new topic. It's called Tragedy of the Commons. It's the idea that what if everybody just said, well, it's just my one little action this time. And if everybody does that, then it ends up building up into a much bigger issue. So I'll see you next time when we will talk about Tragedy of the Commons. See ya.
Bye.